Normal in America is broke and stupid. Dave Ramsey urges you to
Yeah.
figure out what everyone else is doing and run in the opposite direction if you want financial freedom.
Mm.
Let's get into it. Renowned for his no-nonsense financial wisdom, Dave Ramsey delivered a potent wake-up call on his radio show with his signature directness. Ramsey throws the spotlight on a harsh truth. Normal in America is broken, stupid. He's not just talking at his audience, he's talking to them, urging a radical shift away from the mainstream mishandling of money. During the segment, uh, Ramsey did not mince words about the prevailing financial culture. Most people are broke. They spend more than they have coming in. They don't act their wage. He pointed out a troubling reality where many, despite appearances of affluence, are trapped in cycles of debt and living paycheck to paycheck. The statistics he shares are alarming, with 70% of Americans caught in this cycle and bankruptcy rates, foreclosure, and credit card debt on the rise. Ramsey's advice is clear: figure out what most people are doing and run in the other direction. He stresses the importance of diverging from the norm, where the norm equates to financial instability and stress. According to Ramsey, the path to financial health is paved with behaviors and decisions that are directly weird by societal standards. Last thing I'll cover. Personal finances are 80% behavior, it's only 20% head knowledge. Let's talk about it.
Man. Well, Ramsey definitely is no nonsense. I laughed as soon as I heard the quote. If you had to ask me to guess who said it, I probably would have said Ramsey. Man, he definitely doesn't he keeps it curt. But man, I think that sometimes you got to hear it like that to really let it break through. Man, and I'm just still thinking about that last article still about the topic of no one's gonna save you, and in your finances it's the same. No one's gonna, I mean, I'll say I'm fortunate to have had, KB to be willing to share certain financial knowledge with me, but he could have shared everything till he was blue in the face, but it was still on me to say, you know what, he's taking the time and sharing his knowledge. Let me listen. Let me act on it. Let me not just listen to it for his sake, but let me actually try to incorporate some of this stuff. And man, it's I don't know. I hear people talk about financial literacy. I feel like that's starting to become a buzzword. Man, just be about your business. It's your money. Like just figure out what works best for you. And like I said, I don't know how to say it better. You said it best, man. I'm still recovering from that rant, but like no one's gonna save you. Even Dave, like no one's gonna the Dave ain't gonna come save you. He'll come advise you. But man, you really have to. I think what did you say the percentage was? Was it behavior versus like emotion? And
Yeah, it's the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% is behavior and it's 20% head knowledge.
it
Meaning
makes
like just you putting in the work, regardless on where you are, basically, essentially, that's when you will really start getting the traction.
like so that makes me think of so like in relation to the last article, like when we talk about it makes me think about mindset. How you talk about how instead of trying to prepare and pivot for the future, instead of being prepared for the future, you're just so stuck in keeping your current state, which you love. You like your current state so much that you don't want it to let go of it. But the current state has no choice but to go because the future's coming inevitably. So I think that's like a mindset. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a mindset of conservation and fear and not wanting to grow versus having the mindset of knowing that you have to keep growing. That's just what life requires.
Yeah, that's real. I didn't know where this was going to come in. I didn't know if I was going to share it in a monologue or I don't know where it's came in, but I believe that it's fitting here. I was going through some papers and in a notebook, I found a budget. And it wasn't like a detailed budget. It was a budget slash plan. And I was just jotting out some things. but it's from 2017.
Wow.
And so I ripped it out of the page and I'm gonna save it, but it's ugly. It don't, it just paper. I just ripped them out and said, I'm gonna share this with the audience. I don't know where, how. And so basically got a budget in here. It's talking about goals, things I want to do. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't, but I always was just pushing. Always, I've always been like this. I hadn't always had the results, and there's still results I hadn't gotten yet. But I'm on my journey. But like you really have to do these things. And one of the things on here, September 2017, I had travel, put aside $250 a month for our big trip. And then we have two smaller trips. Food budget, I had a $275 food budget. Maintenance budget for the pedicure, probably shouldn't have been getting them at the time. Uh, other stuff. Emergency fund, $50,000 is my goal. Um, Financial freedom account, putting 10% of my income over in there. Tithing, I need to do better at my giving, but we're on that. Let me see. Focus KB, focus. What that top say?
Stay focused. Focused income.
KB, focus on your income.
Mm,
Two, network in the evenings.
mm.
Three, set up your retirement accounts. Make sure your retirement accounts. Um, and it just has a breakdown of a whole bunch of stuff.
Wait, I gotta ask you. So what prompt did you put in Chat GPT to get this?
There wasn't a prompt. I just wrote this down. Like it
You
wasn't
mean you
even a
just
chat
took your brain and really sat down and grabbed a piece of paper and wrote down something?
and just wrote it down. Like it's ugly. It was like this ain't a spreadsheet. I just wrote it. I wrote it down. The back is full. There's a whole bunch going on the back. I was writing down like I was after. I'm like something's going on with my situation. I want to improve it. I want to get better. So I just got to write. Like I was writing. Right. I was writing down. It said immediate goals. We need to get some life insurance. Um, I need to read books. It's some book. I wrote books, exam dates. Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff on here. It's just kind of scattered. Then I wrote 2018 goals. Uh, and then it just got a bunch of other stuff on here. But a lot of this stuff on here that when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, like
Mhm.
because you in that season, in that present time, you just doing something. But then, like if you fast forward it and then you go back and look you like, I'm not here by accident. As
Mm,
ugly as ugly or whatever pain and suffering or whatever the wins and losses, this actually there was some type of intentionality behind this. And I'm not even where I want to be, but I'm way ahead of where I was in 2017. But all those things I was doing along the way compounding, compounding, compounding because I didn't want to be normal. I saw what that looked like growing up. I didn't want it. I wanted better. I wanted better. And I still want better and more. But not for more sake, for more options sake. For whenever you have the ebb and flows of if a company talking about laying you off, your finances set up in a way where you're like, dang, it sucks. But I'm cool. Not like my whole life is turned upside down because I'm strapped with debt. I'm literally 1 month away from catastrophic situation. And then and you fast forward a few months, my car gonna get repoed, my house gonna start getting foreclosed on. Like I did not want that life. I didn't want normal. So I saw normal. I was a part of normal, and I was like, I gotta figure something out. Like this ain't working. Like this. And so my point is, do something different.
man. And
Do
and
something different. What you're doing is not working. If it was working, you'll be where you want to be. You got to do something different. Whether you got
Mm.
to get some help, you got to figure it out. I'm starting a journey next week in a men's group, and one of the things in there, it said that what you have to track things. You have you're here. There's a reason you're here, because what you're doing is not working. Trust the process. So you might need to get under someone else's system who has proven results of where you want to be and follow it, and don't add none of your foolish
Don't
patterns
add the
that you got
recipe.
going on right now, and trust the process because they have the results.
Mm, wow. I like that.
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm done. I ain't got nothing else. I'm done.
Patreon right there. I'm telling you, we gotta
I'm
keep man.
done.
Y'all gotta start tuning in, man. Well, this is good, man. That was that wow, man. It just I don't even know where to hop in right there. Cause that at the end, just like find somebody. But man, I'm gonna sprinkle this in too. I'm gonna take it deep, man. Like so 2017, I'm just flashing forward. Like I'm just thinking about something that you might not even like have thought about. Like while you're going on, this is why it's important to continue traveling on that journey of becoming the best version of yourself, because it will impact you, but you don't realize the impact it'll have on those around you. Like this definitely, I'm sure this is around that same time when you was putting that bug in my ear of like, hey Keon, like there's schools outside of Mississippi that you could go to. In fact, there's the whole Ivy League. They have business schools. I know you're interested in business. And you can mess around and go and get a free ride and mess around, pay less than you would have paid going to school in Mississippi. And so my point is like once you start tapping into that inner light, it shines on the other people too, and you can help
Mm.
activate their inner light. And so I really think that we're gonna challenge the people that's listening to this people that's listening to this. They're the type of people that want the best for themselves, and so I'm telling you, it hit different when you're able to start affecting others positively with that, man. And I gotta say, it's very commendable as someone who's been witness to the journey. I gotta tell y'all, KB isn't lying. Like I watched him put in the work, and just I noticed the mental shift. I grew. I noticed the mental. I guess it's kind of like they be saying your frontal lobe developed. You know what I'm saying? Like you just realize like this. I got clear on what I wanted, and I started working on the plan to make it happen. And so, and I bring up it's funny, man. That's why I asked you about Chat GPT. It's funny. I feel like nowadays we just gonna Chat GPT every problem away. But man, back in the day, I saw a meme yesterday that said it was like, man, I had a flashback to school before Chat GPT when I had to actually use my brain. And I'm like, no, back then we really did. Like,
Yeah.
and for something like what you had to do, that activity, you couldn't just Google, oh, okay, how to fix my life. You had to really sit down and think and say, okay, nah, I'm sick of this. Write that down. Nah, I want this. Write that down. And so I'm not bashing Chat GPT, but I'm saying, y'all, before you just run to the GPT, do some internal thinking, do some real reflecting, and bring that to the GPT. You know what I'm saying? But don't just nothing. Even the technology itself ain't gonna save you. You still got to figure out how to make the technology save you. It ain't gonna just jump out the computer and make the plan for you. But man, it just I don't know, just a testament to what happens when you set a plan and just work it one day at a time. I'll put it like that, one day at a time.